Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am currently in San Diego taking my long-awaited vacation. So this is my mobile studio and this is my tiny microphone. Before we continue with the video, if you're new here, my name is Yvonne and I am a content designer in tech, and I make YouTube videos to help you understand what content design is all about. Follow along if this is something you're interested in. Today I have 5 book recommendations for any aspiring or current content designers or UX writers out there. The books cover basic grammar, foundational UX principles, accessibility, UX design process, as well as marketing. I've included links of these books in the descriptions. It will help me get some extra boba money when you purchase through the links. Before we dive into today's video, I have a personal update for y'all. I recently got diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 27. I lost track of what I was gonna say. The diagnosis has been so helpful for me to understand why certain things are particularly more difficult for me, like folding laundry, finishing things that I've started, and reading books as well. Reading books has always been a big struggle for me throughout my life. So this is the first time where I have a scientific reason to explain why it has been so difficult for me. I can talk a bit more about this in a different video if that's something you're interested in, but this has certainly been a life-changing discovery for me for so many reasons. Having the context of my ADHD brain, you know that these books are gotta be great enough for me to finish them through. There are also a ton of UX design, content design books out there recommended by different UX professionals out there. I just haven't happened to finish a lot of them. With that, let's check out my book recommendations. The first book I have is The Elements of Style. This book was actually recommended by Ryan Farrell, who is the creator of the very famous 15-day UX writing challenge. The book is about grammar, which oftentimes is a really boring topic for a lot of people. And for me, as someone whose English is my second language, I actually have never systematically studied grammar in my life. This is a really short, really funny book that does a crash course of English grammar for you in a way that is really easy to consume. For the writers out there who want to go back to basics when it comes to grammar, I highly recommend this book for you. Plus, it's super funny. The second book I have is Don't Make Me Think. This one is actually recommended by a lot of UX professionals out there as well. If you just search for UX book recommendations, I would say 60% of the chance someone's going to recommend this book. Have you ever had the experience where you're on a website, you know it's bad, but you don't know why it is bad? If that rings true to you, then this book is for you. Don't Make Me Think explains the foundational principles of intuitive navigation and information design. It's pretty short, it's pretty entertaining in my opinion, and it's actually the required reading of a lot of UX design courses out there. One thing I found it really funny is the book has a lot of vintage visual examples, but they still apply to the design principles that we use today. And I have a bonus tip for you. Something I found really helpful while reading this book was actually using this book as a reference to look at my personal portfolio website as well. So if you have built your personal portfolio website, want additional navigation through the actual UX of your portfolio website, this has been really helpful for me to make sure everything is easy to navigate. The next book I have talks about an unconventional design process, and it's called Sprint. A design sprint is a 1-week process where different stakeholders like design, engineering, PM, marketing all come together to test out big ideas before implementing them. UX writers or content designers aren't necessarily required to learn or know how to run a design sprint, but I think it's really important for you to know what to expect in the design sprint. On top of that, I think this is a great condensed version of what the structure of a product roadmap might look like. I love this book because it's pretty easy to read and it's packed with stories from real life companies, whether they're digital or not. It touches on a lot of topics that are relevant to UX, and it has a very clear explanation of how the process works. Some of the exercises are pretty adaptable for content designers' everyday work as well, like the lightning decision jam. Now, if you go on Google and search the book Sprint, you're actually going to see a lot of really negative reviews. It's actually because a lot of people think their rating for the mobile carrier sprint instead of the book, which I find it pretty hilarious. Naming matters. The next book I have is about accessibility, and the book is called Mismatch. Mismatch by Kat Holmes talks about how inclusive methods when it comes to design can help create elegant designs that works for all. It really challenges our assumptions and biases when it comes to how people interact with the world. For us content designers, language can lead to exclusion as well. For example, the term click here to learn more. Okay, here. What does here mean for blind people who use screen reader? In my opinion, a good content designer must understand the importance of inclusivity and accessibility when it comes to design. And this book is a must read for any designers out there. Kat Holmes is actually a queen. She led the development of Microsoft's inclusive design toolkit, which many companies in the industry have adapted, and many UX professionals reference to it consistently. The book is very easy to read and is not heavily infused with academia language. Instead, it's supported by a lot of stories and anecdotes. All right, and the last book I have is called Words That Sell. If you have watched my previous video on Day in the Life of a Content Designer, you probably have noticed that book laying somewhere on my table. I found out about this book in grad school when I was taking a copywriting class. This reference book is one of the very few books that I still use today. A lot of time, content designers write in a way that's simple and plain and easy to understand. But there are moments where we are required to upsell a feature or put our marketing brain into use. This book has more than 6,000 words and phrases in categories like informative, comfort, competitive, and so on. It's an awesome reference book for my wordsmithing library. The book does briefly cover the fundamentals of copywriting, which is not essentially the same as content design. However, it is a great reference book for all the time that you need to unblock. Now, some random reading tips from my ADHD brain. I know I have shared some affiliate links to the books that I've just mentioned, but I highly recommend you to actually check them out either at your school's library or your local library. This allows you to not only save money, but also it's very environmental friendly. A lot of libraries also offer alternative book formats like audiobooks. If you procrastinate on reading a lot, borrowing from libraries gives you that deadline so that you can finish the book on time. All right, that's all I have for today. If you have finished reading any of the books that I have recommended, please let me know in the comments and let me know what you think. Feel free to share your book recommendations as well. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you at the next one. Bye!